Oh, I'm number 21. Okay.
Good evening. It's so nice to see everyone that's here this evening. The smiles on their face, the anticipation, all the goodies. We're just glad to be here. We've come a long way on this journey. We all have 10 weeks, and it's a family affair, and I'm happy. Like the first time I saw you. The restroom was up to the right, to the right, to the right. I've been saying that for 10 weeks. And this is the last week, I think. Is this next week? This week? This week. Oh, what? Not next week? Oh, by myself next week. But nevertheless, we are happy to be here. We just want to welcome all of you to be here at this time that we're going to celebrate and congratulate all of you for your efforts. But more than that, don't forget that in your package now, there's a survey. We need you to pay attention and do something with that survey. We want it back, okay? All right? Also, we have a slide presentation. Won't take long. And then we're going to go on from there. Okay? Now, this slide presentation that you're seeing is some from the past and some from the present. And you all involved. Each and every one of you. Because when you see the goodies have something to do with you. Okay? Mark, I hit the button.
Okay, some of you were here perhaps in October when we had the 5-day class with Rico. Because of the weather, we had to wait until the weather got nice to do this 10-week class. So that's why you may not recognize some of these things if you weren't here for that. That's where this all got started. You'll recognize some of these things as things we've talked about here. Recognize that's one of the principles of good nutrition is to eat lots of different colors, right?
That's right.
Now, I don't think we should leave this one on too long because I'm starting to get hungry looking at that. But one of the good food samples that we had. Some of the usual suspects here show up. You've got the side mug shot and the front mug shot. Makes them easy to identify. All of the family here, father and son. Even somebody from faraway Africa is a part of our program. Elijah, of course, has been here. Remember, a smile always improves your face value, right? And Mike, he's back for the second time. His wife came 2 years ago. All right. This little child is really acrobatic. I wish I could do somersaults like he does. Okay. Targeted areas of our lives, like our refrigerator, our pantry, grocery list, right? Now, in my absence, I understand they brought in a real medical professional, and I heard that Dr. Derek gave you all a good prescription, right? Okay. Hopefully, he didn't recommend surgery to anybody, other than the refrigerectomy, which we've talked about. And we're not absolutely sure this is Derek because, from here up it's missing, but pretty sure nobody else has a colorful suit like that.
Looks like a chicken with the head cut off.
Kind of. Without the feathers, yeah. And of course, the point of this suit was, get your exercise, right? Yeah, get your exercise. Right, so we'll talk about this a little bit more, but in the last 10 weeks, you all have shared with us that we've lost a lot of weight. That's actually not an accurate number there, but we'll talk about that a bit. But look at these things that have people have experienced. Some people say, well, I haven't lost any weight or only a couple of pounds. Well, your body knows what it needs. So don't fret it if you're not losing as much as somebody else is. Maybe in your case, you need your blood sugar to come down or your blood pressure to come down or your sleep to be better or whatever it is. But we're going to give you an opportunity a little bit later to just share with the group one brief thing that you have learned here that you have incorporated in your life that you're going to take with you and the difference that it's making. Okay, so just thinking about, just in a few sentences, what you can share with the group. Okay. You recognize the pages from your book. I think my wife was upset she didn't get to look at that picture longer. I'm right here. Hey, look at me. This is the time of year to enjoy the sunshine, right? Brief months, and it'll be gone. Water reminds me, I have some right here. Of course, you do have some delicious recipes in your cookbook, and we shared with you last week some more about where to find more recipes. This was the group from a couple of years ago, where it kind of all got started here in Portland. The Portland Health Advocacy Team. All right, well, congratulations. This is not the end, it's the last class, as Derek mentioned, in our 12-week series, because we did have an introductory session. We had our 10 weeks, and this is a bonus. We're not charging any extra for tonight, okay? It's included with your free admission. We are not calling this a graduation. This is congratulations, because you have gone through our program, you have participated, but it's not the end of the journey. This is like your kindergarten graduation.
That's right.
Okay? Monica and I came over about an hour, almost 3 hours ago now, visiting with Santa Anita because she's here, always here early. And I was wearing my work clothes from this morning with my blue jeans and my sweatshirt with my t-shirt with paint spatters and drywall compound on it and so forth. And I had kind of teased Monica on the way over. I said, I'm going to tell Sandra Anita, I got inspired by Derek dressing the part. I'm going to tell her, I'm going to say to the people tonight, this class has been interesting, it's been fun, it's been educational, but if you can't do it in your everyday experience, that's where the test really comes. So I'm wearing my everyday clothes that I wear to work just to emphasize the point that you need to be able to do it in your everyday life. And so I share that with Sandra Anita. But before I tell you that, I'll tell you that I told Monica, and Santa Anita's going to look at me, she's going to say, no. But to my surprise, she said, that's a good idea. So when I got out of the shower to get ready to change clothes, and I said to my wife, it's tempting to put on a clean pair of blue jeans and a work shirt because it'd be so much more comfortable, because Santa Anita gave me permission. Okay? But friends, one of the great things about this program is that you have already been doing it every day, not just on Thursday nights. That's what all those little circles, right, on your 7-day program. Every day you have some things to do. You're doing it where you live, where you work, with the people in your life, so that, as we said at the beginning, hopefully you have begun to develop some habits that will carry you through, that will carry you forward from this point, right? That's kind of the idea. So I'm going to switch over to our presentation for tonight, and you have, let's see, Tom, let's see. I want to go on to which one I had. Oh yeah, okay. So it's not on here though. Well, I cannot see it here. So you should have an outline of our program tonight called How to Keep the New Life. You just got. It's up on the screen. Everybody got that one? Okay. By the way, the survey is the yellow half sheet. Please don't fill it out while we're doing our presentations. But we would appreciate, truly, if you'll just take a few moments at the end of the program tonight to fill it out and drop it off at the table as you go, because we always want to know, how can we improve our presentations here? How can we do a better job? So what you've got here tonight is not a fill in the blanks, because I have way too much material to wait around for you to fill in blanks. Okay? Besides which, I want to make sure that you have it all there. Keep this with you. Keep it in your book, I should say. That's my suggestion. Just staple it in the back of your book, something so you can review it from time to time. Because these are principles that you'll find very helpful as you seek to keep the new life you just got. All right, so let's get going. My friend Zig Ziglar, I call him my friend, I've never met him, but I've listened to many hours of his motivational speaking and read some of his books. He says, people often say that motivation does not last. Well, neither does Bain, and that's why we recommend it daily. Okay? So you need a little motivation every day. And we talked about that in our opening program, our introductory night. What is your motivation? Why are you here? What do you want to accomplish in your life? What changes do you want to make? What benefits do you want to reap from your investment of every Thursday night for 10 or 12 weeks? What is your motivation? It's different for all of us, but we looked at some possibilities. Perhaps you wanted to feel better and look better. And by the way, I don't know how you feel, but you all do look better. Some of you look pretty sorry that first couple of nights, okay? I got to tell you. But you're all looking way better, all right? And I like that. Very happy about that. Some of you say, I want to function at my best level. I want to be able to run rings around people half my age, okay? Live longer, obviously, reverse or avoid lifestyle diseases. We'll talk about some of those, diabetes, cancer, heart disease, and so on, that are not caused by some germ jumping on your body and giving you heart disease. It's lifestyles, choices we make that bring these diseases upon us. Be of greater service to God and mankind. That's a great motivation for me. I want to be able to continue doing these seminars until I'm at least 100 years old. Okay? And by the way, just so you know, I didn't put any pictures up here, but my third grandchild was born yesterday. Yes. Marshall, what's his name? Marshall Charles. Marshall Charles, that's it. Marshall Charles. So what's even better is, since I don't have a class next Thursday, I'm going up to Alaska to see him. He's a cutie. All right, and finally spend time with great-grandchildren. All right? Right now I'm enjoying spending time with grandchildren, but then I want to be thinking further down the road. I like to go to my great-granddaughter's wedding. Wouldn't that be cool? Have a seat of honor up front?
Yeah.
Everybody say, ah, he's 105 years old. Ah. Look at him go. So, remember, we talked about this, the two, pay no attention to this over here, okay? Remember, the two great motivating factors are pleasure and pain. Pleasure is something that motivates us toward itself. Pain is something we're motivated to get away from. Right? You've heard of carrot and a stick. All right? Carrot, the reward, the stick, the downside. Okay? So we talked about how we must associate vividly and emotionally massive pleasure with the new life. Bringing our life into harmony with these 10 principles is going to fill our lives with much pleasure and happiness and enjoyment and enthusiasm and excitement, right? Right? Right?
Right.
Okay, I thought we would turn the lights off here. Okay?
Right.
So you want to have that positive motivation. We're talking about motivation right now. You want to have that positive motivation, but you also have to associate vividly and emotionally massive pain with the old lifestyle, which you no longer want to live, correct?
Correct.
How many of you have chosen to live the new life from this day forward?
Yeah.
Okay? Some of you maybe, you'd like to go back to the old way and be sick, and that's your choice. But I think most of you have come here and have invested your time because you don't want to live that way anymore. You don't want to be sick and tired and run down and having to take all these pills because your body's falling apart. You want to bring your life into harmony with these principles so that when you go to your doctor can say, why am I giving you all these pills? You don't need these anymore. Keep doing what you're doing. What are you doing? Oh, Doc, I'm so glad you asked. Let me tell you about the 10 principles. The new life. That's what I'm doing, doctor. I'm living the new life. All right? So, let's move on here. The new life choices and behaviors and habits, this is the good side, this is the plus side, means feeling good about yourself, accomplishing your goals, having more energy, having better, clearer thinking. Oh my, we need that. Did you know that the average American diet is so damaging to your brain, your thinking processes? All that fat, all that sugar clogs up the machinery up here between your ears. It's scary to think how many people are living life most of the time in a brain fog and a self-induced food coma. They're alive but barely. They're functioning but not optimally. And you want to have all these positive things in your life, including better thinking, clearer thinking, better sleep. I want to see a show of hands. How many of you are sleeping better now than you were 10, 12 weeks ago? Very good. Now don't start until after about 8:30 or 9 o'clock tonight. Okay? I'm getting better. I had 2 people laugh on that one. That's good. All right, so being well instead of sick, that's worth it. If that's all that happens, is you're just well instead of sick and enjoying outrageously good food. I was somewhere the other day, and they had, this person was saying that they had tried this vegan version of macaroni and cheese, and they said, I didn't realize it was vegan, but it was good. I said, of course it was good. Of course it was good. It was made from things that God designed to make us healthy and strong. Okay, let's move on here. The old life choices. This is the bad side. This is what you want to run from, is feeling lousy and lethargic. How many of you felt lousy before you came to this class, okay? You just didn't have the energy and the zip, okay? Aches and pains from gout, rheumatism, arthritis, cramps, constipation, bloating, etc. Catching the colds and flu more frequently, increased risk of diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, cancer, lower quality of life, and a premature death. Yuck! I don't even want to ask the question, who wants a part of this mess, because I don't want to see any hands go up, okay? This is the stuff we want to run from. Preferably, 3 or 4 days a week. Run from that, okay? And run toward the benefits. You know, Zig Ziglar, whom I mentioned a moment ago, what got him going was, in his presentations, he always says, you can do anything you want to do, you can go anywhere you want to go, you can be anything you want to be. He's from Yazoo City, Mississippi, by the way. He says, you can get anywhere in the world from Yazoo City, Mississippi. All you have to do is leave. Okay? So, one time after his presentation, a man came up to him and said, Ziglar, do you really believe all that stuff you're saying about you can be anything you want to be and go anywhere you want to go and do anything you want to do? He says, yeah. And then he said he pointed his finger in my size 44 waist and says, I mean, do you really believe it, Ziglar? And so that night he got to thinking, I'm not very credible when I tell people this, because I don't really want, to be a size 44 waist. So he said when he got home, he said, I went and talked to my skinny doctor. He says, if your doctor's not skinny, fire him and get one that is. And his wife bought him a new jogging suit and a pair of jogging shoes, and he set his alarm clock, his opportunity clock, he calls it, in time to get up and go for a jog. And he got up and put on his new jogging suit and his new jogging shoes, and he went outside and he jogged one mailbox. That's all he could do was one mailbox. Now, if you live in Santa Fe, those the mailboxes are far apart, but most of us, it's not very far down the street, okay? But the next day he was able to do 2 mailboxes. By the end of the week, he was able to make it all the way around the block. And I tell this story because it was some months later, more than a year later, actually. And he was here in this beautiful city of Portland. And he was running at Waterfront Park. And he said, all of a sudden it dawned on me that you don't sacrifice and give up to be healthy. He said, you enjoy being healthy. He said, I felt so good. I felt just such a thrill of energy and excitement and enthusiasm for life, living this new life. And so, don't lose your motivation by thinking, oh, but I've got to give up this, and I've got to stop eating that, and I can't drink this anymore. Friends, you need to associate eating whatever that is or drinking whatever that is. If you know it's not good for you, you need to associate it with this list up here of the bad guys. And if you're one of these people that has a hard time drinking water, like we talked with Shannon a few weeks ago, she shared her story. Begin to associate drinking water with all the pluses. See? Motivation. You've got to keep the wheels revving, the momentum going on motivation. Zig Ziglar says you were born to win, but to be a winner, what do you have to do? You must plan to win, you must prepare to win, and then you must hope that maybe by chance, maybe you'll get lucky and you'll win. No, you need to expect to win. See, because in this race, if we can call it a race, there's no, first prize, second prize, third prize, and everybody else is an also ran. Because you're the only one in the race.
That's right.
You're the only one in the race. It's a race for your life.
That's right.
You are the CEO of your life, as Rico likes to say. You're in charge. You decide what course you run on the race. You decide how fast to pace, and you decide ultimately the destination. And not just the destination, but the journey. Now, I'm not saying you can pick out which is your last day on earth, because some of us will just keep on running, but you get to decide, do I want to have all these bad things in my life? Is that what I want my life history to be? Or do I want to write a different history? And you have begun to do that by coming to this seminar. You have completely, some of you, turned your lives around 180 degrees. Now, some of you may be tinkering with a few little things, but for some of you, it's been an about face. And you're going in a very different direction, and we're grateful for that. You were born to win. But you have to plan and prepare. And that's what this class is about. That's what your book is about. That's what this list is about. You have to expect to win. Now, let's plan and prepare and expect to win at the New Life Challenge. You see, you get the, well, it's not a big trophy you hold up, but it is the trophy of a life well lived. It's a trophy of better health. It's a trophy of better energy. It's a trophy of longevity and all these good things. Now, let's talk about some common problems to avoid, things that will try to derail you from living the new life. All right, and we'll work down this list, but we'll look at lack of written goals in a few slides, and then we'll come back to the second one and so on as we go through. Strategies for success. Write out your goals. We've talked about this. Specific goals, measurable, realistic. Post them where you see them often. Remember the lady that hated her job? All right, don't make me have to tell that story again. I hate to tell that. No, actually, I love to tell that story. That's a great story. Did the people at her job change? Or did her attitude change? Post your goals where you'll see them often. Okay? And then read your goals aloud enthusiastically at least morning and evening. And you can decide whether you want anybody else to hear you doing it or not. Okay? They may already think you're crazy. But read it with enthusiasm. Do you know when you say something aloud, it reinforces it in your mind? When you say it with enthusiasm, it really pushes it deeply into the subconscious mind. Keep a notebook to record progress, notes, recipes, tips, ideas. And I want to remember next time we do this, and I need to encourage people to get one of those little spiral binders or spiral notebooks at the beginning of the class, so you can just jot down anything related to health. You find an article you clip, you stick it in there, a recipe, you put it in there. You keep track of things so you can kind of see, you can look back and say, wow, look at that. Woo, I am looking good. Maybe some before and after photos, whatever. And then write out a plan, review it, and revise it frequently as needed. If you're one of these people that just needs a little more structure in your life to help you, it's not a bad idea to plan a menu. In fact, it's a good idea, especially if you're transitioning to a new way of eating, because, well, we'll talk about that more. That's further down the list. But it's not a bad idea to have it written out. It's actually a good idea. People who wrote down their goals were 42% more likely to achieve them than the ones who did not. And telling a friend increases this rate by how much? 78%. Now, if I told you that by writing down your goals you have a 78% better chance of winning the bike, would you do it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. But isn't your health worth much more than a bike?
Yeah.
Okay. Goals that are not written down are just what? Wishes. Write out your goals and keep them in front of you. Work toward them until you achieve them, no matter what adversity you face. You see, when you keep in view the objects of your pursuit, if you keep your mind focused on the bullseye, you're more likely to hit it. Zig Ziglar says, are you a meaningful specific or a wandering generality? The author of this book that we'll be sharing with you, I've talked with you about it before, but each of you will receive a copy of this tonight. In one of her books on the topic of education, she says, success in any line demands a definite aim. Okay? Definite aim. You need to know what you're moving toward, what your goal is. Keep it in mind. Keep moving. And if you write it down, it's much easier to keep it in focus. Okay? The more specific you can be, the better. Setting goals, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Trying to get something done, don't forget to put a time limit on it. Okay? Not when I get around to it. One of these days. You know, a lot of people live on a place called Sunday Isle.
Yeah.
A dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes what? A plan. A plan backed by action makes your dreams come true. Okay? So set your goals. All right, second one, no accountability partner or group. In other words, just Lone Ranger out there by yourself. Meet with or call your accountability partner at regular, frequent intervals. That's a part of your strategy for success of keeping the new life you just got. You have an accountability partner. We got that fixed up at the beginning of the class. Keep that relationship going. Now, if you don't have an accountability partner, if they flaked out and dropped out of the program, find somebody with whom you can partner. Now, I'm going to ask, is there anybody here tonight that's been a part of the program who does not have an accountability partner that would like to have an accountability partner? Let's see a show of hands. Okay, so everybody's got an accountability partner. So, keep that phone number. Don't change your phone number, okay, if you're an accountability partner with someone. But keep in touch. Have a regular, frequent, like every Thursday at 7 o'clock. I'm calling, okay, whatever it is. And then connect with the support group once per week. If you can get together with 3 or 4 people and go for a walk a couple times a week, or share a vegan meal together, a plant-based meal together on a regular basis, that's great. I think in your list you may have did you get that in there about some of the other activities that are available that we talked about? Okay, good. So, yeah, thank you, Ramesh. Yeah, so you've got that, a schedule. These are some folks, some activities you can go and meet up with people that are, thank you, on the same track, okay? And then be there for your partner as you would expect them to be for you. Don't make them be getting voicemail all the time, okay? Join a virtual online community of like-minded, health-oriented people. There are some of those here in Portland, even like vegan meet-up groups, not M-E-A-T, but M-E-E-T, where you get together once a week or once a month and share a vegan meal together. Did you know that you have joined, if you've made that decision to be plant-based, you have become a part of a very fast-growing group of people in this country? Lots and lots of people are waking up to the dangers of eating animals and animal products and junk food and all the rest, and have decided that they're going to be plant-based and whole foods and healthy and organic and all those kinds of things. Why do you think there's so many natural food stores today where 20, 10, 5 years ago even, and they didn't exist? Their products in the regular grocery stores are taking more and more of the aisles. All right, number 3, time crunch, stress. Speaking of time crunch, okay, we might get you out of here just a few minutes late, but if you need to leave early before you win your prize, that's your choice, okay? We're going to try to get you through as quickly as we can, but we've got a little bit of material to cover here. But for many people, one of the things that makes it hard for them is, well, I just don't have time. Or they think, I don't have time to be healthy. You know how much time it takes to be sick? Have you been in the doctor's waiting room lately? Yeah. Besides which, when you're in the doctor's waiting room, you're in there with about 20 other people that are sick. You ever thought about that? You kind of want to avoid that as much as possible, right? I mean, I'm glad we have this hospital here, but if you never have to come to any hospital for the rest of your life, how many of you would be happy about that? Okay? Other than to visit somebody else. But you don't want to be the one in the bed. First of all, it's expensive, but for a lot of other reasons, okay? I want you to be healthy and well. That's why this hospital does programs like this. I mean, if they wanted more customers, they would have you come here and feed you, pizza and pop and chips and, whatever. But people seem to do that well enough on their own, so. Anyway, what do we do with this time crunch? How do we have time? How do we find time to live a healthy lifestyle? Well, strategies for success include avoid time wasters, watching TV, movies, surfing the web, chit-chat, blah, 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 distractions. Ben Franklin said, if you love life, then don't waste time. Because time is the stuff of which life is made. And how many of you know that the clock is ticking on your life? David said, so teach us, Lord, to number our days that we may present to you a heart full of wisdom. In other words, Lord, help us realize how short life is. We don't waste it doing dumb things. That we spend it, that we invest it doing things that are beneficial not only to ourselves, but to others. So avoid the time wasters. It's amazing the average hours that the average American spends in front of a screen. watching TV or just surfing the web or social media or whatever, okay? So make sure you prioritize your time and you get the important things done first. And if you have a little time to go on the chit chat or Snapchat or Twitter or whatever, but make sure your priorities are where they need to be. Keep focused on your goals amidst the chaos. That's why, again, it's good to have them written down. Have them posted in several places in the house. Maybe on your steering wheel of your car, or on the screen of your screensaver on your computer. Keep focused on your goals amidst the chaos, because again, life can get crazy. For most of us, life is hectic and busy. So you've got to keep focused on your goal in the midst of the chaos. And not be distracted by this and that and the other thing. And then next thing you know, you're living the old life. Okay? So keep focused on your goals. It'll help you keep on track. Schedule time for exercise, sunshine, air, etc. And of course, you can do those all at the same time. If you should exercise outside on a sunny day, and you're not jogging next to somebody smoking a cigar, or a pipe or whatever, don't go by a... And it's getting harder and harder to drive yourself around the marijuana shops because they're everywhere, but, it's possible. But you might need to put it down on your calendar. In fact, things that get scheduled are more likely to get done than things that are just like my hope-to list, my round-to-it list. Okay? If you prioritize your daily activities, A, B, and C, you have a list of A priorities that absolutely need to be done today. B are things that would be really nice to get those done today, but you're not going to, it's not going to be the end of all things if that doesn't happen. C's are things like, if I get A done and B done, and I have any extra time, I can maybe knock out a couple of those C's. The problem with most people is even if we did make a list like that, the C's look so inviting and it's so satisfying to cross things off your list. So, we'll write something like, get out of bed in the morning, or whatever. Cross it off the list. And I think, well, look at all I've accomplished today. I only got, 5 A priority items left, and it's only 10 o'clock at night. So turn that list upside down and do the A's first, okay? And you know that exercise